Hey there, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the Food Experience. Today's experience, I'm going to make some meatballs in the Kalorik Maxx air fryer oven. Not frozen meatballs. We're going to put together meatballs, all beef meatballs, and make them in the Max. And I'm also going to put together pasta with marinara sauce, and after I cook the meatballs, I'm going to add them to the marinara sauce and make a spaghetti dish. I'm hungry for some pasta, so without further ado, let's get started. First thing we want to do is go to oven mode. I'm going to leave it on bake. I'm going to up the time. Doesn't even matter how much, just make sure it's more than the prep time. That way it doesn't turn off on you. And I'm going to set it to 400 degrees and hit start and let the preheat begin. I'm going to start with a pound of 85-15 ground beef. I'm going to add half a cup of finely chopped onions, quarter cup of Italian breadcrumbs, 2 cloves of garlic, 1 egg, quarter cup of Parmesan cheese, 3 tablespoons of ketchup, and in that dump I have a teaspoon of salt, quarter teaspoon of black pepper, and a half a tablespoon of dried parsley. Next we got to mix up all of the ingredients, okay? You could do it with gloves, you could do it with your bare hands, but you don't want to overwork it. You want everything to be well combined without overworking it. So let's go ahead and do that. Almost reminds me of when I made meatloaf, you know? Kind of similar in a way. A little bit different spices though. Okay, so that should be pretty good. Next you want to kind of go ahead and make balls out of the meat, but don't press it together too tightly. And I'm going to weigh them out. Okay, so 47 grams. Let's see if I could go for 50. And I'm going to go ahead and loosely roll that around again. I thought about doing this a couple different ways. I was thinking maybe the baking pan with some parchment paper or foil. But then I got to thinking about it. Then it's going to be cooking in its own fat. So I'm going to use the steak tray comboed with the drip pan, as you see. And I'm going to go ahead and spray it with some cooking spray. And I'm going to go ahead and put the meatballs on just like that. And I'm going to repeat this step until I go through all of the meat. So there you go. I was able to get 14 meatballs that are exactly 50 grams and then one that's a little bit smaller. Next, I put them in the Max in the bake to position, closing the doors, and I'm going to let them go for 18 minutes. While the meatballs are cooking, I'm going to go ahead and start up to boil some water. And we're going to make pasta. Then I have another pan on the side where I'm going to start the sauce. Usually I make my own sauce, but tonight I'm going to be using some of this Rayo's homemade tomato basil. So I'm going to add the whole jar to the pan. Water's almost coming to a boil. I'm going to add a pinch of salt to it. Looks like there's about 4 minutes left of the meatballs, and once it's done with that process, I'm going to use the air fry mode, probably somewhere between 3 and 5 minutes, just to kind of give them a little bit of a browning. The water's starting to boil now, so I'm going to go ahead and put some pasta in, and that's going to go for about 10 minutes. Meanwhile, over at the Max, we got 2 minutes remaining, and then like I said, I'm going to switch it to air fry mode, anywhere from 3 to 5 minutes till I see some browning going on. See if I could get that pasta to go in there now. There we go. Everything is totally submerged. Back over to the Max. It's done. All right. Let's go ahead and turn on air fry mode. I'll just leave it at 4 1/4. Doesn't really matter. Gonna start it up. It's on 15 minutes remaining, but I'm just gonna look at it visually, and when I see some browning, then I'm gonna stop. And by the way, those meatballs are smelling so good. From looking at things, I'm going to go ahead and rotate the tray around. Put her back in. And let her go another couple minutes. The meatballs have been going about 5 minutes. I'm going to slide them out and do a temperature check to see where we're at. Yeah, it's around 178. We're good. Go ahead and remove the meatballs. That's what I'm looking at. They look so good. I'm going to go ahead and add the meatballs to the sauce. And I think that's good right there. I have a couple left over, but that's really all I need. Now I'm going to go ahead and start the sauce. since the pasta is almost near completion. Since it's out of a jar, you don't really need to cook it much. Pasta's been going about 10 minutes. It should be done. I'm going to sample a piece. Oh yeah, perfect. Go ahead and give this sauce a little bit of a stir. And I hope this sauce is good. Never tried it before, but my dad actually recommended it to me. He's like, yeah, for store-bought sauce, this is like the best one on the market. I almost picked up the garlic one, but I thought the tomato basil sounded good also, so that's why I'm going with this. Now that I know the pasta's good, I'm going to go ahead and strain that while the sauce heats up a little bit more. Sauce is definitely looking like it's about done. I need to get another pot, smaller pot, so I could do sauce correctly, but hey, that's what I got for now. I work with what I got, right? Smells good though. Smells really good. All right, let's go ahead and top the pasta. Maybe a little Parmesan on top. All right, let's go back up top and I'll sample it with you guys. Welcome back, everybody. I got my plate of spaghetti and meatballs. Let's dig in and give it a try, right? Get a little bit of meatball, a little bit of pasta and sauce. All right. Oh, it's piping hot too, totally. Oh, that's good. I mean, for a jarred sauce, that's pretty good. But what's really good are those meatballs. Definitely nice and tender. They're not like stiff or hard or anything like that. They definitely have a really good flavor from all the different ingredients I put in the mix. This is an awesome dinner. In fact, it's so good I want to finish it in peace. But before I go, in the description down below, I'm going to put a link back to where I got the recipe for the meatballs. I believe it was yummyhealthyeasy.com. Look for it in my description. And you saw what I did to cook the meatballs in the Maxx. Hopefully you guys enjoy this as well too. In fact, if you enjoyed this video, hit that like button. Drop me a comment down below. And if you're new to my channel, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. I got all kinds of good things set up to do. So with that being said, have a stellar day. Be excellent. And remember me, I am KJ Andio, your food experience host with the most. Y'all take care, and I'll see you next time.